Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Two Gay Matt's Ultimate Girls Trip Ex-Wives Club Season 2.
Season 2
of Ultimate Girls Trip, at least.
Ultimate Girls Trip.
Yes. How are we? We're back full stack today.
Yeah.
Stack.
Glenn was off last week
back
getting a beautiful haircut. If you're watching this, you're seeing it. It took a whole week to get that right.
I know. It really, I went in once a day and they cut off a half an inch each time. Yeah.
Did you catch up on the episode
I
from
did,
week 4?
yes.
Why
Okay.
did Dorinda have a fake mouse, do you think?
Fake mouse.
Okay.
Did I not?
Plot of the episode, if you look back, it's really a story about the fake
What?
mouse.
It's a really small moment in which Janie was
did
really stuck on it.
I'm still stuck on
Yeah.
the
Is
fake
it
mouse.
is it like that? Because she was like, "Don't eat in the house." I have.
And then she said there's mice, and then they went downstairs, and someone said, "Oh my God, there's a mouse right
And it was
there."
fake?
And then they cut to the mouse, and it's a fake mouse that
you're
Dorinda just
kidding
has
me.
in her house.
I'm more upset that no one said the word parasol. Which do you think was the bigger smoking
Yeah,
gun
of
of
our
the
two
episode?
biggest
Of our
points
two,
last week.
Everyone said little umbrella,
Little umbrella.
in lieu of parasol.
I have no comment on this because I don't want
I
to be
know.
attacked.
It's too much of a hot topic. I
This
get
is-
that.
I'm not involved. I'm not involved.
Not involved.
No.
So before we dive into the episode, should we talk about like little Housewives news that occurred this week?
Oh, maybe.
Janie's
yeah.
excited to do it. I don't know if you're seeing her, but she's
Oh my
pumped.
God. We gotta talk about Janie's. Unless you did. Wait.
What Janie's?
Well, the Jill.
Oh, the Jill article that she retweeted.
We were going back and forth about whether Jill would acknowledge an article I wrote, which was, it's so funny because it's like being on the receiving end of the way the internet takes in news. Cause like the headline is like an ode to a flawed person, whatever.
Yeah.
And there's I think a critique in there that's nuanced, and I get into it because I don't think she's good, but she's a real person. My point is she's a real person.
Yes.
And Jewish women in the media were usually construed as like Larry David's annoying mom. Like we are like always the foil to a hilarious good dude or whatever.
Yeah.
So that was my point going in. So she retweeted it or whatever, and then people are like immediately commenting on the Instagram where they posted from the article. I disagree. I'm like, but they didn't read the article. So that's
They didn't.
fully like
Yeah.
I didn't
They
read the
didn't.
article thing. But she
Also,
reposted
in the headline
it.
is the flawed
Very
matriarchal
flawed.
figure. It's very much in there already.
like I'm like off the bat, I'm like Trump inauguration.
I know.
Like let's move on. But so yeah, I was glad she maybe didn't read it, but she did.
I don't think
it
she
on her
probably did.
stories.
Because also she was like, she's exactly right. I'm me, whether you like it or not. I'm
I
like,
know.
Which is her own quote.
I was gonna
like,
say,
I
it
don't think
wasn't
she
her-
said that in the article.
It was her season 4
It was
tagline.
her season 4 tagline. She quoted herself and was like, "She got me."
She got me. She gets
you
me.
read it.
No,
I
I
don't
don't,
know
think
that
she
she
read
did.
it. I don't think she read it.
But hey, she acknowledged you. We love that you and Jill are really tight on social media these days.
I
So
appreciate that.
Big
Thank you.
Housewives news. Also, Noella and Dr. Jen.
I know.
Are leaving Real Housewives of Orange County on their accord.
Were they ever on?
I mean, I think Noella did a lot, but
she was trying though.
She really
was trying
was.
and they were giving her nothing back for the like 5 or 6 I watched because I had to stop watching. I was like, I can't do this anymore.
Unfortunately, this is one
know,
of the
you're a
only
blind spot.
OC. No, I watched every second of that season.
Oh, you did?
I watched every frame, and I was like, Noella's doing too much.
I know.
But it's good to have someone against Heather Dubrow.
Yeah.
An unpopular opinion, before the reunion, I would have said, keep Dr. Jen. I thought...
Oh, really? I didn't see the reunion.
The reunion, she didn't say anything. She was literally didn't say a word over. It must have been
That's the
2
biggest
parts.
crime. That's the biggest
You have
crime.
to talk. And then I just thought her weird, awful marriage with this man who was always shirtless and carrying around a
So
puppy.
sad.
Like something's happening that I'm interested in. I think there's something there. But Noella, I just don't know what they're gonna do. Are they clearing the path to bring back Tamra and dare I say Vicki?
I don't think Vicki.
I hope
No,
not.
You don't
I
think
don't
Vicki?
think Vicki.
No,
But
Vicki's
Tamara
done, I think.
potentially.
Tamra potentially.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't need Vicki. If we've learned anything from these episodes, which sadly,
she's. If I hear "whoop it up" one more time, I'll fucking throw
It's enough.
myself off a bridge.
And
I can't.
Unfortunately, this last episode, she didn't come across nearly the worst. I think she was
No,
probably...
she was like sort of
Because
boring.
the COVID fog is sort of like keeping her at bay.
It's protecting her neurons
That's the
from saying.
thing.
Very
I
true.
mean, they're
True.
acting like this is such a long trip, but I think for her it is.
I
Because
know.
every day feels endless. She's so sick.
Also, I forget she's like addicted to men, like in the way that
Yeah.
like the older generation of women is like, if you're not married, you're dead, you know?
Yeah.
And so she's like coming down from all this, like she got dumped the day before she got
Why
there.
are they mad when she says she was dumped?
I think they want her to
Protective.
reframe it.
But
like
it
she
happened.
doesn't-
Like, but she was dumped.
She was
Yeah,
dumped.
I don't think they think
lie.
about truth as much as they think about how will this look on television.
I
and
think so,
How are we
maybe,
going to
yeah.
frame this to make you look like the heroine?
Everyone's been dumped. It's not.
I know.
I don't know.
Right.
We've all been
Fine.
dumped. It
Every-
happens.
Like, it's worse than dumped. She was letting him live rent free in her
Yeah.
Mexico apartment and like ostensibly or whatever have sex with another woman there.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
it was like it's her saying dumped is nice.
I
Dumped
know.
is an upgrade.
Truly. I'm trying to think what else happened Housewives wise.
I was gonna say Beverly Hills had a hard episode.
I didn't watch.
You didn't watch an
I
episode.
watched like the clip of
That's all
this.
you needed.
It's
I
really like
watched the clip.
3 intense minutes where you go, this is happening and then this happening. It's like right at one after another horrible event.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
saw a description of the clip and I didn't see the clip itself because I was like, and then I
You don't need to
forgot
see
watch.
it.
It feels dark and I don't want to
Dark.
go there. I
Dark.
just
That's the theme of today's episode
Oh
is
my God.
darkness.
Yes.
And yeah, so basically if you didn't watch it, Erica is sloppy drunk again and yelling at Garcelle's
Children.
14-year-old child, being like, go get the fuck out of here. Because essentially she was
She
scared.
sexualizes one son,
Yes.
Garcelle's son,
The
and
old-
like
the
in a
adult.
gross way.
Yes. And it's like,
It's Garcelle's event.
it's
ew,
Garcelle's
ew,
birthday
ew,
party.
Ew,
and
ew.
she's talking to Oliver being like, oh, are you, like, someone's like, oh, he's married. And she's like, well.
the one with the kid,
The
the
one with the
grown
kid.
one. Okay,
And
he
she's
is-
like, he
he
is
is
married. And
hot.
then
He's
he
also
is
hot.
hot.
But
and
don't do that to people.
No, and also don't be like, well, you and your baby mama need to slide into my DMs because,
Oh, is that what she did?
That's what
No.
she did, and
No,
it's
no,
like,
no,
well, no, that's his wife, not a baby mama, and like, no, I would
his
not.
wife?
I don't need a threesome with my mom's weird work friend. Like, thanks.
It's so funny. She is
And
weird
it's just-
work.
It's so strange. And then after that, the whole Jax thing of it all, and then you see Kyle getting mad at Sutton for sharing about her miscarriage with Diana. And it's like, you're all horrible people. Like, this isn't even fun anymore.
A
I'll skip that
Trump
one.
connection to Mauricio, and Kyle also was like coming out online this week
is
of some
it?
kind.
Oh, no.
Where Mauricio's mom is like a big Trumper.
Oh, I didn't know that.
These
It wouldn't
webs
surprise
are-
me.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they're all rich. Here's the thing. Like,
Yeah,
they
and they're in
don't
real
care.
estate of all
Yeah,
things.
of course.
That's,
of
you know.
course.
It's gross stuff over at Beverly Hills, I must
Yeah.
say. I'm hoping it turns around or we get Diana off the show. Cherie, the new friend of Garcelle, seems cool and nice.
I
so
want to see
that's-
more of her. I'm like, you were married to Will Smith.
I know.
Can we talk more about that?
That would have been much better if she had a diamond and not Diana. I think Diana is a big part of the problem. I would like Rinna fired and one of the other two. Like
Yeah.
Dorit or, I mean, firing Kyle would be a big change.
I don't mind Diana, to be quite honest.
You didn't watch the
I
episode.
know. Was it really?
I mean, it's just like she relays like the fight that they had and leaves out every bad thing she did. And she's like, Sutton called me soulless. And it's like, okay, whatever. It's just awful. I just don't like any of them.
oh, God.
It's a tough season. But should we
Yeah.
get into
Are really
episode-
nice for a total contrast.
Take a trip.
I know.
Yeah, to
Another
the
horrible-
Also, wait, before we get to, I just want to point
Yeah.
out one of my favorite things. Someone thinks they coined Berserkers. Was it Vicki at some point in the
I
show?
have that note.
Okay, we'll get to it.
We'll get to it. And- oh, sorry. Just was about to talk about this, but Brandi Glanville released a rap song, and I feel like we need to listen.
How
to
long is it?
We're not listening to the whole thing.
Okay.
We're gonna listen to 30 seconds.
Oh my God.
15.
We'll see how long it goes.
I might-
It's
Oh.
as bad as you think it is. Let's listen.
What I'm doing here is laying down some tracks. Let's go. Gonna tell the truth and do it to the max.
Is she like on?
Fuck them other housewives. Better watch your back, cause I'm spitting out the motherfucking facts. Diamonds, peaches, apples too.
You get
Okay,
the idea.
so I would say it's better than Luann
I don't know.
No.
because it's on purpose bad.
It's
No, it's
not
not
on
on
purpose,
purpose. Is it on
bad.
pur- it's not on
no,
purpose, no way.
she's serious. She's being serious. I'm telling
no,
you.
she's
That
not.
This is
That's
not
impossible.
This is not a Weird Al moment. She is like, I'm making something that people are gonna
I
love.
don't agree.
I have
Do you think-
chills. That was so bad.
It was so bad.
I think she's doing it for fun. Sound off in the comments.
No.
I mean, she doesn't think she's talented, but I don't think she's doing it as a joke.
I think she's doing it as a joke to
No.
make fun of Luann.
No.
Luann doesn't rap though. She sing talks like this.
That's not
does
rapping.
this,
That's
I'm the man.
rapping. Yeah,
yeah. No, Luann croons.
I think
right.
you're giving
Or,
Brandi a lot of credit.
Yeah.
I need the commenters to tell us.
I like that you're giving Brandi the
It's
benefit
fine.
of the doubt.
This is
I
kind
just
of-
can't imagine another option.
I would say this is kind of a Glenn take, if we're all gonna say it. And 'cause
Yeah, this is a Glenn
This is
take.
like women
This
don't
is-
do crimes. Women
Yeah,
do not
yeah.
make things.
Genuine
I
raps.
think this is
So yeah, that happened this week. That is the light moment. But then we have to dive into the episode.
Okay, can I preface?
Please.
I watched this episode drunk.
I think that's the right way to watch it.
Fully drunk. My
Yeah.
notes
It was
are
sort of like
incoherent
being
and
in
fun.
the episode. You were sort of feeling like you were part of
theme?
it.
Yes,
Yes.
you were
Yes.
Dorinda.
And because I was drunk, the first thing I wrote 8:15 a.m. WTF? I said too early.
Too early. Dorinda loves her mornings, though.
Oh
I'm
my
like
God.
getting up too early.
That is too early. I completely agree.
Yeah.
Dorinda opens talking to an Alka-Seltzer, then to Margot, and it's like, what are we talking about? Jill is scared that the other housewives are going to crash her confessional. They cut back to more of that fight, and it's more insane than we even saw.
Yeah.
Dorinda being like, you cried and you got the mascara to show it. And it's like, what are you saying?
Dorinda
Like,
goes so dirty so quick. It's really.
it's disgusting. She takes a shot at Jill dating, what's his name,
Oh my
Gary,
God.
very soon after Bobby.
This is also so weird. Dorinda says things and people just sort of like ignore it sometimes, or I'm like, that is so horrific what
I
you just
know.
accused her of. First of all, everyone grieves differently. You don't know what their relationship was. Whatever. Who cares?
I think it's weird to be like, this is how, I mean, for someone who's always so pro-widow, we'll get back to it.
Yeah.
Just her husband died. Let her move on
leave
with her
her
life
alone.
and like do what she wants to do. It's like when people get mad at Nene for dating that guy after Greg Leaks passed. And it's like,
Yeah.
that
It's
seems
so
fine.
interesting. They really don't understand what we, the viewer, will think makes them look bad
Yeah.
because they point a finger and say something terrible and want the viewer to go, see, she's terrible. But
Yeah.
we like, they don't
No.
get how humanity works.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
really don't.
Yeah.
This morning is going to be a hot air balloon.
Okay. This.
I you know what I wrote down? I wrote jumped the shark. We
It went,
jumped the shark.
it went up and down. It didn't
No.
go anywhere.
I was
It
like,
was-
this is silly.
It was tethered to the house.
Wait, so the weirdest hot air balloon moment was when Dorinda's up there and she says in the confessional, she's like looking down on it and she's
Yes.
proud that she like maintained it. And I don't know what that means. I genuinely
Oh
don't
my
understand what she's
God.
talking about.
I think she's saying that after Richard died, it could have gone to shit had she not
like
hired.
Grey Gardens, like she just didn't
Yeah.
get a maid.
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
That's what she's
So
proud
she's
of.
proud that she's paid people to take care of the house.
Yeah, because
Yes.
she was like, look at all my accomplishments. Wife, mother, like caretaker of a home. Like, and I'm like, these are the same thing you're saying. Like,
Right. I know,
think
I thought
she's just,
maybe-
my job is to take care of a house and people and things.
I
And
thought maybe
think
it was
she
like
that's
she's
her,
been paying
like,
off that
baby or whatever.
mortgage.
No, that's paid.
Oh, do you think? Oh, yeah, I wondered that. Do you think that she has? They must own that outright, though, right? But also
100%.
property tax is expensive,
Yeah,
and like
True.
there's that. You
I'd love to
can
know
have that.
the monthly expenses on that.
I know, me too. And also,
I should've
what
done
was
some
their
research.
sort of like financial setup? Because she must
have
Did
done
he
everything.
have previous
think.
folks and like
Oh, like
in
kids
his
and stuff.
life and is she splitting that money? Because he was very
know.
wealthy.
Yes.
But,
Oh,
yeah.
You know, I would be curious.
Jill being like, being Mrs. Medley was a big honor, and I'm like, who is this? Who
I know.
cares?
Who
Is it?
cares?
I guess, yeah. So old school.
I also maybe this isn't my business. Is that daughter Richard's? No. Hannah? What's Dorinda's
Hannah-
daughter's?
Who's the
No,
father?
no, Hannah is not. I think Richard's.
I don't
daughter.
think so either.
Because remember she's like, Richard was so nice to you, like because I think when he died, right? Is it her daughter?
I kind of think no, but I'm not positive.
I
If
think
anyone
it's
wants to
not.
look it
I
up,
think it's not.
feel free. But I think
Sound
no.
off in the
Good
comments.
question.
Sound off, please.
I don't think it's Richard's daughter.
I liked Dorinda saying, I hope that the hot air balloon really lifts everyone's spirits because she broke everyone's spirits the night prior. And also, I must say, speaking of commenters, people in the comments were like, I like Dorinda. I think she was cool.
Not this
and, like,
episode. No.
We'll see. I mean, Falou is we love the patron Falou, and he was like, you guys are wrong about Dorinda. She's great. And I'm like, I don't know, guys. I don't know. Jill comes down and wants to talk about the elephant in the room, and she's like, Dorinda has no recollection of the damage she did to me. I'm not going to bring it up, but I would appreciate if someone else does. Which I'm like, I like her. I still like her.
Eva like working. I don't like when housewives do their job on company time.
I
I'm
agree.
like, come on, you're already working. Like, I don't
for,
want to
like, a
see you.
week you're here.
I know. I'm like, I know you have a show, and I know that's like good for you, but like, I don't want to see that.
Get someone to fill in for a
I
week.
know.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's just a bummer.
I agree with that. A frog pees on Dorinda. Jill thinks it's because the frog is upset with her because of what she did to Jill.
Well, yeah, that frog definitely knew. That frog definitely speaks English and watches TV.
Then they start going back into like relitigating what happened the night before, Jill being called thirsty. And it's like, yes, Jill is thirsty. This isn't the best example of that. Eva doesn't care. How are we still talking about this?
I know.
It feels like we should be done. They call a truce. Phaedra wants to change her wig.
I actually thought that was a good move. I liked for that moment, for that morning. I think she was exactly right.
What did she call wig? Oh, sorry.
A unit.
Oh, a unit. Yeah.
A unit.
And she was when she like changed to the brunette. I was like, yeah, for this hot air balloon ride, that's correct.
I love that you like went with her on the journey.
I understood her immediately. I was like, I would have done the exact same thing.
Do you think it's because you just went through a big hair change that you were more?
Maybe I was more. Yeah. But because here's the thing, she got it almost right. She had the short sort of blunt bob. It just was the wrong color for that moment. I think she looks great in an icy blonde.
And I think of all the housewives to sell units, I would look at her line.
Absolutely, I would.
Her hair has been gorgeous.
Been beautiful.
She also just
Stunning.
looks great. She keeps looking, her outfits and everything. I'm just like, man, you look really good.
We should hire her as our lawyer. Like, I would fully trust her with my corpse.
I want to hire her to, I want to hire her to embalm me.
Trust her with the wigs. Beyond that, I'm still...
Yes.
I still don't know. Also, she started wearing units about 6 months ago after she got her first movie role.
Yeah, what was that?
What's that?
Wait, what movie role?
I mean, it's got to be TV or streaming.
Yeah, right.
All people
or
who have heard about, we would have known.
It's got to be like on IMDb Plus has a streaming thing that Jeff Lewis is on now.
It's sort of like how Candy like does TV roles, and it's like, for like IMDb Plus minus extra.
This
You're
reminds
like, okay,
me when Danielle Staub was in the Erica Jane Hulu documentary. She says, I met her when we worked together on Watch What Happens Live. So maybe Phaedra was in a documentary about a housewives scam.
the
Shaw one.
Oh, that's perfect.
Jesus,
oh,
I can't believe Danielle's such a mess.
This is the thing I love is when the housewives all in the morning like have coffee. I don't know why. I just
love
really
it.
like it's a really nice environmental.
They're like sober, and it reminds me of when you're on a trip with your friends and you're just sitting around.
And you can also, this was especially nice because you could see the steam coming from the coffee in the morning. And I was like, and everybody had their own little mugs. I was like, oh, I love this.
That's all
I love looking at people drinking coffee.
Looking at people drinking coffee.
I also, maybe tell me if I'm just being too sensitive about this. I feel like, and I guess I wrote this down before I listened to Brandi's song. I feel like there's a moment, maybe she's hanging around Eva and Phaedra and this is a natural thing to do, but I feel like sometimes she sounds a bit like Pink during her first album era where she's doing a bit of a black scent.
I thought this
and
from
I'm like,
the
Brandi, stop. What does she say? She says, I don't want my friends to die. Like doing a Phaedra impression or something. And I'm like, Brandi, please.
I mean, she came out with a rap song. She's doing that.
This has been
she's
confirmed
co-opting black culture.
I was like, am I being too sensitive as a black person watching this?
In the beginning, I was like, this is, when she was like, you guys, I like you guys. I was like, this is dangerous. I don't like this.
I don't like it.
No.
And then I also later in the episode thought the opposite thing of like, has Vicki ever met a black person?
Oh no, she doesn't know what's going on.
Like, sometimes she's talking to Phaedra and Eva and I'm like, on the show,
you know
has
what?
she ever engaged?
I'm thinking back, I don't think ever I've seen her.
No, I don't think she's met any until this
moment.
Nor would I say any non-white person at all.
Yeah.
No.
She's just only with a
She's
cis
been to
white.
Mexico. We know that.
Yes.
Oh, and she's treated those people poorly.
Oh my
on
God.
Really?
camera.
Oh,
yeah.
I mean, I guess that's not a show.
Her and Ramona are similar level of like bad to the people
And that
in the
makes you
service
feel
industry.
bad when you think about like the tourists that go to Mexico and treat people like you're like,
It's
oh
so-
my God,
it's so
it's
yucky.
embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
I think the only thing that I have a few critiques of Jill this episode, which I usually don't. I wish Jill would say to Dorinda's face what she keeps saying in scenes with the other housewives.
Which is, you're an alcoholic.
Which is like, you're an alcoholic, and like you were talking about how your ex John wanted the fame, but I think you become a monster from being famous. These are actually very good points, but points that you should be making to Dorinda. Because we're not getting a reunion from this. So
right. Yeah.
give her a chance to respond.
Yeah. They're also just, it's like those, you know that Spider-Man meme where they're just pointing at each other, like you're Spider-Man, and I'm like, yeah, that's, everybody here is the same amount of thirsty as Jill. Jill's just more honest about it.
Yeah,
And she's more like a little networky about it. She's more New York about it. Where like everybody in New York is like, oh my gosh, matchmaking friends. Like she's fun about it.
Totally.
Yeah.
I have no issue with that.
I'm just like, just say the truth.
I'm glad that it's coming out that Luann tried to bring Jill back when Tinsley left mid-season that season and Dorinda wouldn't film with her, and that's what I think this all is really about.
Oh, yeah.
Then they start day drinking. Phaedra says she's in love with someone who she can't tell us how she met him.
I'm I'm like, I got
How
nervous.
did
I was
she
like,
meet
no.
I mean, we heard the Target devil worshiper story. Why can't we hear this? Which I still believe. Maybe that's my glitch.
I think this is an unsavory thing. Oh, you think it's fake?
I think the Target thing is real. I think the devil worshiper is like, he was like maybe a democratic socialist, and she was like, devil worshiper.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Maybe it's my Glenn opinion, but like, I believe what Phaedra says. We all need a Glenn opinion.
You know she's a liar. She's lied
do.
before.
Doesn't
I don't
bother
know.
me.
Doesn't bother
No, it
you.
doesn't bother me. I think it's fun. I just think it's a lie.
As Matt says, once a liar, once a liar.
That is my
His
favorite
life philosophy.
phrase.
I like that. That's really nice of you. That's really sweet.
Phaedra says she doesn't know who's in it for fame, fortune, and big booty.
Also, if somebody liked me for my big booty, I'd be like, yeah, that's
Right.
the point.
I
I'd
know,
be like,
that's a
thank you.
part of
it.
That's why you
You're
have
welcome.
a
I'm
partner.
sick of being respected, please.
Yeah, I'd be like, oh no, you're sexually attracted to me? Damn.
I know.
Vicki says no one gets divorced where I'm from, and she says it's Chicago.
Okay, here's the thing. She's
Okay.
from a very conservative, not Chicago
Okay.
suburb.
Yeah.
That is not Chicago.
Janie's from Chicago.
Janie knows.
I just want to make
Janie
sure.
knows.
Tamara says she feels like Vicki still loves Brooks because there's lots of chemistry. Do we have to keep talking about, as much as I like talking about Brooks, the amount of sex they had, I don't need to hear about anymore.
I don't also like imagining Vicki having sex,
No.
or especially Brooks. who
No.
I'm like, no. He could not.
Phaedra,
He could not find the clit with a fucking metal detector.
He wasn't
could not.
looking.
he really wasn't.
No, he was like, yep.
Phaedra
Absolutely
said,
not.
did he look good? Brandi says, no, he was
That
not
was
attractive.
so rude. That was
Which
so
is-
rude. Especially because Steve is one. They was talking about Steve, right?
I thought it was about Brooks. I couldn't
Oh,
tell.
I mean, I was
couldn't
doing
tell
something
either.
else. I
You were out of the room.
was out of the room.
Because like for old white women, that's an attractive guy.
Which
Like,
is
you
so
know, like,
sad. At what point do you look at Brooks and think,
I know.
okay, that's good? Oh.
I mean, I guess with the dentures or whatever you got, the veneers.
I think they were equal amounts
Yeah,
of hot.
'cause
I think Vicki
they're
was as hot as
hideous.
Brooks.
All these men are hideous.
No, they're not. No, but Vicki's not like.
Well, that's true.
Right.
I mean,
That's
this feels
true.
meaner to say about a woman, but like she's not like, you know.
Well, it's like with
Beyonce.
She's ugly because she's mean. You know, like
in
yeah, no, she's not ugly.
everything,
She's
in
not ugly.
every Slade thing he said, there was some truth behind what Slade said.
Did Slade talk about Brooks?
No, about Vicky. He did a stand-up about her.
Did he call
Oh
her
yeah.
Miss Piggy.
PR term?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I mean that was just also Slade being a dick.
I assume
I
Slade
miss
sucks.
Slade.
Oh, you miss Slade. Wow.
I miss those seasons.
Those were great
I want
times.
to know what Joe is up to from season
She's doing
one.
well.
Is she really?
Yeah, I check in sometimes.
Didn't she
That
just get
makes me
married?
happy.
I think so.
Why do I know that? Joe Del
I
Rosa.
like that you know that. Oh yeah.
I've never even
Wow.
watched.
Works in marketing.
Yeah.
Not to be rude, but I can't believe Jill's parents are both still alive.
That was stunning to me.
I know.
Like, I think that's
I was so happy
great.
for her.
I
I'm
know.
happy.
Oh my God.
I'm
I
happy
love
for
the
Elle.
mom.
Oh, I love
Oh,
that
the mom was so funny.
Any opportunity.
I
I'm
hope
not
I don't-
happy.
I hope I don't run into her. I
That
hope
was
I don't
the
run into
best.
her.
When she's like, well, if Dorinda runs into me on the street, she will have an extraordinary bad day. Extraordinarily bad day, wasn't it? I did like that.
Oh, she's a good mom.
Oh, great
Cutest.
mom.
Cutest.
That's a great scene. Back in season 3 when they're shooting the
I'm
cover of
not
that book.
happy.
Through her teeth.
I'm not happy.
Brilliant.
Squeeze, mom,
Smiling.
squeeze.
Smiling. I'm not.
Jill gets flowers, and of course, first thing she says, "Are they from Dorinda?" It's like,
No,
no.
bitch.
She's
You
like
know they're not
fully
from Dorinda.
forgotten her.
They're from your husband who wants more screen time. Or
Boyfriend.
your boyfriend. Yeah,
And
boyfriend.
question-
I think he's becoming a grifter in my eyes.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah,
he was
right?
grifting from the get.
From the get.
My wonder,
saw-
does she like Gary? Remember when he first
No, I don't
came
think
in
so.
with her, she didn't acknowledge him, and now the
No.
flowers, she's like,
It's one of those things like Bill and Hillary where you're like, no one will ever know.
I think it's like, you know how like powerful men sometimes just like marry their assistant?
Yeah.
And they're
Yeah.
like, oh, great, a free assistant now or whatever. I think she's doing that with Gary.
Okay.
Oh, great, a free assistant.
Yeah.
I,
They're like, oh, good. I already have a mommy-son relationship with this woman. We'll just make it official.
Oh my God.
I did
No,
like
it's true.
I mean, it's true, but it's not cool.
Oh, no. Oh, it's very yucky. Yeah.
I liked Brandi being like, "Oh, you finally got your apple back," because there was like an apple.
Oh my
and a
God,
bushel
that
of
was-
flowers. Did you see them on Watch What Happens together, Jill and Brandi?
No.
Brandi is making fun of Jill the entire time to her face, being like the question for Brandi: who of your castmates is the most thirsty to get back on their old show? She's like, "Oh, definitely Jill." And it's like Jill's right there. I think their friendship's weird and funny. Do you want to be back on that show? Eva asks. I want to be on as a friend. Jill lies.
I'm like, okay.
Jill,
Yeah.
you want to be back, and that's fine.
It's
Just
okay.
admit it. Most of these women want to be back.
All of them.
And she's like, I don't want to be in the drama. It's like, well, you've been in the center of the drama with Dorinda for like 3 episodes of this.
Yeah.
So I don't foresee that for you. Blah, blah, blah.
They also just kept saying like the fame. And I'm like, yeah, but like, I don't know.
It's a niche fame.
It's a niche.
Like,
it is a fame, but it's just so funny. I'm like, you're not like, Lady Gaga or
No.
Beyonce.
Right.
I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. You can still live your life.
It is
Absolutely.
fame, but it's like they just kept talking about it like it was like, oh my God.
I know. It's like you're
don't know.
basically an Instagram influencer.
A little bit, yeah.
So.
Just funny to me.
Phaedra says, Dorinda, that ain't a bad booty for a white lady, which is nice.
Yeah, that
They
was
go
nice.
swimming. Eva swims. Taylor doesn't swim because of her weave, according to the editors, which
Yeah,
is a harsh cut.
She was also on the side of the pool being like, yay, yay. I was like, oh no. I was like,
I know.
That's so mean to her.
I know. Just
She looked
stay
so
still,
goofy.
Taylor. She really
I know,
did.
She looked goofy.
They go to the Red Line Inn where Dorinda worked back in the day. She asked about the blue cheese dressing. There's no blue cheese dressing.
Stunned. Just, it's gone.
Brandi randomly brings up the Vicki threesome rumors from like years ago.
Any excuse to see that clip again.
Oh my God.
Is it just like producers in Brandi's ear being like, say this? Because it's a complete non sequitur.
Barking dog. Like it's.
She really is. She's doing the
maybe
job.
Brandi paid someone coming in with like notes on here's how you provoke
I
this
think,
person.
yeah.
I
Well,
could see
everybody
that.
also had their things. Like Taylor had the thing, and everybody was like, da da da, their little needle.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Oh, this what made me laugh is all these women being like, great, looking really good, and then they sit down and then they have to like put their reading glasses on and their menus. Okay, I will have the. Oh, was that to say shrimp? I don't know. I get.
You can only do so
funny.
much plastic surgery wise.
I
Like,
know. I
Your
was like,
organs
you
will
can't-
age.
You can't get a facelift on your eyeballs.
on your eyeballs.
You can't do it.
Exactly.
It's all true. And I hate to, again, be on Vicki's side at all. The area does seem boring.
Oh, it
like,
is.
Vicki-
It's supposed to be.
It's
Berkshires.
purposeful. It's like
purposely
you're going to
boring.
relax and there's no downtown. They kept
No.
saying downtown. I'm like, it's not downtown.
Right.
Also, I want to be like, hey, Vicki, you choose a place to whoop it up then if you're so
true.
obsessed
Yeah,
with
Orange
whooping
County
it up.
isn't
Also, you ju-
exactly like, you know.
Right.
It's true.
And you just had COVID. Where do you want to whoop it up?
has
the
COVID.
hospital. She actively has COVID.
100%.
She's not trying to party.
No.
She's yelling at other people.
What was the thing? Wait, I wrote something I don't understand.
What?
Just say it to us.
What was the thing that made you say what during? Oh, that's like a random question Dorinda poses around the table. Like, what was something that made you say, huh? What? During your time on the show. Mine was when I got fired. And it's like, what are you talking about?
This is like a game of Jeopardy where she's like, I have the answer. And I
Right,
want to
and
come
I-
up with a question
Yes.
that'll
Very
bring
much.
out the answer.
Yeah.
And no one knew what she was saying. She just
Yeah.
wanted to talk about being on pause again. She said she doesn't nap. And of course, there's a montage of
Of her
Dorinda
napping.
napping. In the house, not even from New York,
No,
just like
from a day
this
ago.
trip. More lies. Vicki gets mad that it doesn't end on Thursday. It ends on Saturday.
Yeah.
8 days is a long time.
It's not that long.
Oh, you know what I didn't like also is so many shots of like the cameras filming them and it's like 5 inches away from there. I was like, no shots of the camera. I don't want to know how oppressive the cameras are. The fourth wall breaking, I'm like, please don't do this.
There's
I
a
don't
line.
like this at all.
I like us talking about like being on our shows and stuff.
That's fine.
But the actual filming of the filming is like
I don't want to see
I
it.
don't want to see that.
It makes me sad. It's like animals in cages. Like watching
Yeah.
It's like being at the zoo.
like, yeah, it feels like being at the zoo.
After the steroid shot, Vicki's been better, blah, blah. We need to be present. Dorinda screams. Blah, blah. Dorinda and Jill fight again. Dorinda says, you remember working, right? Talking about like the scene she shot where she was drunk and giving a mean toast to Ramona that Jill was also there as like a guest.
Yeah, exactly.
And Dorinda says she didn't drink at all that night. And of course, Bravo flashes back. It's just like so short-sighted. What did she think was going to happen there?
Yeah. Oh, Jill matchmaking, like being like, who can I say? Oh my God. I was like, I love this.
I know.
I love it so much.
Do you think Jill's ever set up a successful couple?
No.
I don't think she has an eye
no,
for it.
I don't-
think she would be good at it. I wouldn't trust her.
I think she's the kind of person that's like, you're gay, I know a gay.
Yeah,
It's like,
100%.
okay.
100%
They're
true.
like not compatible at all.
It's very true.
I feel like the Jill Brandi thing reminds me a little of Jill and Bethany when they first started out. Where
yes.
it's like you are the little
Younger,
broken bird.
feistier.
Ramona
Oh.
always said she likes an underdog.
Wow,
And
yeah.
Brandi is the one that they're all piling onto on this trip.
Wow.
It just seems the same.
For good reason, though. My God.
Dorinda says, I was on a show that you were no longer on. And then Jill says, maybe there's a reason you're not on it anymore.
So rude.
So
or I'm like,
rude.
Dorinda, you're being a bitch. You're being so mean.
And they were both fired. Like, why are
Exactly.
they
Like, why are
yelling
we
at each other about it?
Yeah, you both were fired. It's fine. There's still talk more about like when Gary and Jill got together. Like,
Not our business,
Not our
honestly.
business.
Especially, I think, like, this we'll get into. All the stuff that relates to death, leave people alone. Like,
people
really not your
alone.
place to pry.
There's then discussion on whether Jill authorized cameras to be at Bobby's funeral,
Okay.
which
Matt was like, we came in, he's like, I think Jill had a great episode. Glenn and I are like, sweet Matt. What are you saying?
I forgot this part.
That's a Glenn take.
So you believe liars.
I do.
And you think that about this. What do you think?
Okay, of the people who had the flashbacks to show them that they were lying, this only happened to Jill once. Dorinda had like 5 earlier in the episode. And it's so obvious she's lying from the get-go that I forgave it.
So you're forgiving her because this egregious lie
Yeah.
it's been a consistent lie.
Yes. She has stuck with the lie.
That is, Glenn, I think that's worse than your takes. That's pretty bad.
Yeah, that sounds bad. Yeah. I at least change my opinion when presented with facts.
Okay, maybe this time next week when we're recording this, I will change, but I
want you to sleep on that take,
I'm gonna
Matt.
sleep on it.
You might want to put like a chiron in the bottom of like whether or not you've slept on it when you post this, because I really don't think that's going to age well, Matt.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying it's like great that she did it, but I just feel like.
But you're not saying it's bad.
I'm not saying it's. I don't know. And there are worse things that have happened that are going to happen later in the episode.
Yeah, but not that Jill's
Do you not
gonna
think
do.
there's worse things?
It's not, but they're all bad.
They're
It's
all
not
right. There's no.
It's not like this makes it okay.
It's
It's
all
all different shades of yikes and
It's
yucky.
so
I think I wrote
gross.
yikes
It's
on
gross.
this. Yeah.
gross.
It's
I mean,
gross.
it's like, yes, we have all watched the most disgusting things happen on these shows.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think a couple of times death has come into these shows and it's never been pleasant.
No.
So bad.
It's always bad.
And so at least transparency about it. It feels grosser when it's like lying about whether or not. So the conversation is about, can you just film outside a funeral without permission, which Bravo would never do.
No.
Never.
They have the receipts for everything.
Yes.
I don't know what she's thinking.
I know. So I thought that was a stupid lie. Like, even she could have spun it like, Bobby and I loved each other, and I wanted that final tribute to be on
Right,
TV.
spin it
And the
better,
fans
Jill.
loved
Spin it
him,
better.
and
Yes.
I think she just didn't have to lie about it.
I agree.
I agree with that. I'm not saying she should have lied. And the cut with the producer being like, we have the emails
I
from when
know.
you invited us there.
I know.
Was tough to watch. It was tough.
And if
Also,
you're
like
trying,
the,
sorry, what were you gonna say?
just the assistant doesn't make decisions on their own. Like
and if
that's
you're
never
trying
how
to
it's
get
happened.
back on Bravo, if her goal, it's like so short-sighted not to just be buddying up to the producer.
Exactly.
Like, what are you doing? But anyway, that was disappointing to me.
It
I
was
think
bad.
I think that moment right there is sort of a microcosm of why she didn't stay on longer or didn't ever get invited
Agreed.
back.
Absolutely.
Agreed.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Jill then apologized to Dorinda, even though Dorinda doesn't really deserve it. But Jill just doesn't want a problem. And then they kiss on the mouth. Did you see that when they were?
I thought that was very gross.
Was it on
Sloppy.
purpose, or did Dorinda?
I think women of that age and that generation, I think the mouth kissing is maybe not as weird, or like it also seemed like maybe a little drunk and like sloppy, because like they're like, I think Dorinda's mouth was open for like a moment,
Yeah.
and I was like, I'm not gonna go back and look
Especially
at
in
the
the
frame
era
by
of
frame, but
COVID.
yeah, I was like, I think they're just more of like kiss, like it's like the air kissing and the blah blah. I think it's just more of that generation's like way they and that
Yeah.
sometimes you just mouth to mouth.
the mouth. All right. Taylor then brings up Adrian's surrogacy and the drama from season 2 of Beverly Hills Housewives.
This felt forced.
Like Taylor. Like,
What are you
We haven't
doing?
talked about Adrian in years.
Exactly.
Years.
I haven't thought about Adrian in years. And like, whether Brandi's lying about them being like friends and texting buddies.
She brought it
Right.
up so just like she'd been sitting there waiting to say it.
Yeah.
It was so, maybe she built it up in her head it would be better. I don't know what she thought she was doing.
It just made no real sense. I didn't get, like, is Adrian Taylor's best friend? Why is she asking for an apology that happened a million years ago that didn't involve her?
Adrian doesn't talk about it anymore.
No,
Why the fuck
She
do you
doesn't.
care, Taylor?
And also I think the culture's changed a lot. Like I don't know why we're talking about it.
I know, and bringing it up again is sort
Bring
of
it up
like
again, I
it's
know.
like what was the housewife who kept being like, oh, it was on Jersey, when she was like, Jackie, it was when she was like, Evan didn't cheat on me. And he was like, stop saying Evan and cheating in the same. And she was like, I'm hosting a party so that we all know it's an Evan didn't cheat on me party. And it was like, stop,
we all want to move
stop.
on so bad.
Yeah, please. And he's like, babe, you're making it so much worse.
Just
felt
worse.
like you're making it so much worse.
Yes.
And I think the conversation gets even more awkward because Taylor has clearly like rehearsed these lines.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was cringe.
She was like, in season 1 when all the classy ladies were there, you were just a cinnamon stick in an actually successful pot of water.
Okay, so here, toxic opinion, Glenn opinion, I understood that metaphor. I was like, that's a good metaphor.
Is there
and then she
tea
continued
or
and
cider or something in the water? Just water with some cinnamon?
I understood the cinnamon stick part of it, and then when she sort of extrapolated, I was like, yeah, stop. It doesn't go farther.
Just cinnamon water.
Cinnamon
We're just
water.
making cinnamon water?
Maybe,
We are.
yeah, maybe you're right.
It gets worse and worse as she goes like, well, the successful 6. It's like, oh, you fully wrote this down. Someone wrote this for you, a bad writer. She then brings up the Critics' Choice Awards and the fact that
Wait, and it's like you didn't win one.
No, the show won one.
Does she have a statue in her house?
There's no way. She won. I guess the show won one while she was on it.
Producers have one.
And no other Housewives show won, but it's also like, who gives a fuck?
Who gives a
that
fuck?
means nothing. It's very awkward. And then Brandi goes, which again makes me laugh. You're just like Jill and Dorinda. You're so obsessed with these shows and like if you were successful.
Just bringing people into it.
true.
We're like, hey.
I know, they're just
True.
like for no reason.
Brandi's
Dorinda, you
so
go on every
messy.
possible show you could be on. And then we get to the moment. The darkest part of the episode.
There were
'Cause
too dark. There were
there's-
the two. At
I
the
hate
beginning
it.
of the end,
I
it was
hate
Too
it.
dark. Taylor then, Taylor's going on about the successful 6, and then Brandi's like, were you successful? And they cut out,
this was maybe the worst. But then what Dorinda said after was
It
also
was
really
terrible. Everything they do is
awful.
terrible here.
they cut out the actual phrase because
That's how bad it was.
We didn't want the intro, the black of like,
Yeah, I think that's
folks.
you shouldn't, and I think they smartly didn't. The word discussion of it, I think, opens up a whole
right. What do you think
ethical
exactly
thing.
she said? Because I was trying to figure it out. Because
And it could have been said crassly as well, which might be
think it
why
was.
because I think that also that just in a way, unfortunately, that kind of like protects Brandi
It does.
because we don't know. But either way, to bring that up is not even like the poor taste we've seen.
Yeah.
This was just, it's so disgusting.
Right.
Because I didn't know what angle she was going at, like that she's unsuccessful because she's a victim of abuse or because she's a widow. Like I didn't
That
know
one.
which.
I think
you think it was the
and it
second
was the
one?
circumstance of
It
how
was-
she became a widow
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
would imply she's
Yes,
not
like-
successful.
Yeah.
Yes.
And as much as I support Brandi as a rapper, I don't support her anywhere else.
And that's the thing is like
Yeah.
we went to the show, the first few episodes, she was doing a good job being like pushing the story along. But then, like you said, you get reminded why these people got fired. And it's because of shit like this.
I would have thrown
like,
a glass.
You can't mention
They're forgetting that we are watching
Yeah.
and we want to be enjoying ourselves. It's not fun.
Right.
It's not joyful entertainment,
Yeah.
escapism, the things it's supposed to be.
It's like when everyone's having fun at a party and then like someone says like a slur or something.
Yeah.
You're like,
No, we were having a good
fun. And
time.
now you have to leave.
We were in a hot air
You're
balloon talking about those wigs. Like, why are we doing this?
Unit, wig, what is it? Like how I
Yes.
changed my hairstyle.
And I will say that across the franchises, they've struggled with how to deal with real issues when it just inevitably comes into
Right.
the show. So to force it in when you're like, we really didn't have to.
Yeah.
It's so.
It's like she's used it as like a I hate the phrase trump card, but like just
Yeah.
like kind of like just to stab her, like a jab at this woman who is widowed by a very dark
Horrific
way, in a horrific
circumstances.
circumstance that we don't want to revisit, and she's using it to hurt her. It's awful.
I can't believe she also Taylor sort of didn't react as much. I mean, maybe they cut a lot of her reaction, but I was like, that is, I truly, I would have thrown a glass.
Brandi looks so bad right now that
Maybe she was, because you know what she did, because I looked at her in that wide and she like leaned back and she was like, see,
I
like it was sort of,
see?
yeah, maybe she just sort of
maybe
let it
she
sit.
felt it coming too.
Yeah,
She's
maybe.
like, and there we go.
I
Yeah,
think she
yeah,
was.
I think that was
I think she was like waiting, and like honestly, not to say this is at all Taylor's fault. What she said, she was hoping that Brandi would say something incriminating, or that she was like, "Oh, this woman is bad,"
Yeah.
and let me show you. And Brandi did it and went lower than we even thought she would.
Right.
And so
She
Taylor's
took
like, "Yeah,
that bait.
she took the bait. This is what I wanted." Eva has to leave the table, understandably, because it's gotten so dark. Dorinda screams because she's sticking up for widows yet again. Brandi gets up and walks away, which I did like that she left. Jill trying to back up Brandi, but the phrase was bad.
What did she say?
Jill's just like, well, Taylor was trying to bring you down and say she was better than you. I didn't like that.
Not the time.
And then she was like trying to get Brandi to say like, she was like, so you would take that back if you could. Like, you feel sorry
She
for
was
that,
trying to
right?
apologize.
And Brandi was like, no, I don't.
That
and I wouldn't.
was very
and
funny.
I was
She's like,
oh.
no.
And they're like, oh, okay. Well, I was really trying to give you this, you know.
This is also post Dorinda saying the thing, right? That she said.
This is
pre. I thought Brandi left the table because of the thing
She
Dorinda
leaves
said.
twice.
Oh, she leaves twice.
Yeah,
Oh
they
my
leave,
God.
and it's
again,
like-
I was drunk when I was watching it. There are things I wrote down where I was just like, whoa, and then I wrote down what, and I was like, I don't know what I wrote down yikes. I wrote down
I'm drunk.
oppressive.
I'm hungry.
Yeah, I wrote love, underlined, don't know what I was talking about. No idea.
I
And
love
then
that.
I just wrote Brandi, no.
Brandi, no.
Brandi, no. That's,
Brandi, no.
That's it.
Like, yeah.
Phaedra says all the cushion I have in my butt can't make these chairs soft again, bringing the fun.
Thank
Yeah.
God.
The fact that we're getting the fun from Phaedra,
Thank
who,
God.
accused a cast member of rape, is very ironic. Brandi comes back to the table, and then Dorinda says her thing, which they did not cut out.
Somebody's like, why do you like the Housewives? That sentence is like exact. I'm just like, yep. How complex.
Oh, that's true.
How-
And she's the comic relief. It's
really
wild
is.
how
So crazy.
this all happens. They don't cut out Dorinda saying, how about if your son died?
Oh, that also was like, cut that out.
Cut that
I mean, I
out.
know you can't, but like, my
I also
God,
think
Dorinda.
all of these women are in custody fights where
Yes.
these shows become evidence.
Yeah.
And
Oh my God.
I was thinking about like
right.
if you have a certain kind of person who's vying for custody, they can point to because that happened with Bethany.
Yeah.
And they can say what kind of parent you are and what you're allowing and blah blah. So I think that's also part of why they're like, don't talk about the children is a rule.
Yeah.
But then also I think it is because it has real implications in
Yeah.
the court.
Absolutely.
Really bad.
I was really stunned when Dorinda said that.
I mean,
think
at
everybody
this
was
point,
like,
they're all so bad, except for Eva.
Yeah.
That you're just like, how did we get here? It's not a contest of who can say the worst thing.
I know. And it's like, for what reason? I don't know. It all started with Taylor bringing up this thing that didn't need to be talked about.
Yeah.
And just spiraled downward. And then Brandi, of course, made it an awful.
Yeah,
not
I just
fun.
and that sort of like poking the bear thing where she
Yeah.
was like, you shouldn't have said it. I'm just like, I don't know, that feels victim blaming again to me. Like, I don't know, you should be able to like have a conversation with somebody
Right.
about a thing you're upset about without them saying that you're unsuccessful because your husband died by suicide.
Exactly. Like, that
That's
doesn't
so
seem
insane.
ridiculous as a
That's
request.
not what anybody quote unquote deserves for that.
Not at all.
That's so stupid. Yeah.
Again, thankful for Phaedra for that lady could be your mama. You can't
Oh,
do that. And then
this
Brandi saying
was-
she's only 5 years older
this
than
was
me. And Phaedra being like, oh, whoops.
Oh, that was
That was very
just
funny.
Favorite moment of the whole show.
Absolutely. It's like, oh, thank God. We can breathe a little bit.
Finally.
And of course, since Dorinda can never let a sleeping dog lie, she goes to Brandi because Brandi left the table again. Dorinda goes. She loves following people after she said something horrible to them.
Just making it so much worse.
I was about to fuck that bitch up again with the black son. I'm sorry. And
Yeah,
then
no,
they
truly.
end the episode with Vicki in that chair saying the word Berserkers as if she made it
Wait.
up.
Okay, we have. This is what the show is.
This is what the show
This
is.
is what the show is. Okay, so she says. I think the exact quote is like, "This isn't the Berkshires. It's the Berserkers." Did someone tell her to say it? Did she
Yes.
think she made it up? There's no way she
No,
thought of that
producer
on her
wrote
own.
that.
Of course
no, producer
not.
wrote that.
But did the producer say, "Vicky, no one's ever said this before. You'll be the first one"?
I think that.
They were
100%.
setting her up.
Because
These women
Vicki,
can't read and write.
And so is that a little
These women
treat for
don't.
the viewers who made it through the episode?
But I got so angry. Like, this is like the comparison, because to me it's like there have been episodes of television called
the
Welcome
title
to the
was called
Berserkers.
But
Berserkers.
Vicky has never seen an episode
Of course
that she's
not.
not in.
Of course
Of
not.
anything. So
No.
I'm curious if that was like a little treat we got.
I couldn't believe it when she said that. Like, how dare you?
Did it make you angry, Glenn?
How did you feel
Yeah.
about the Berserkers?
I was drunk. I was drunk. I definitely missed the part where she said I made up the word Berserkers.
No,
She didn't say it.
She didn't say
The
that.
way she said it, she was like, "This isn't the Berkshires. This is the Berserkers."
Oh, okay. So she
Yeah.
didn't say. Yeah, I just assumed that she was like saying something that a producer had written for her. That like, and that's what like you can tell when Kyle Richards is sometimes the best at it because she's like has acting experience, but you can tell where it's like, haha, this pun that I didn't write. It's
You know
like
what
very
I hate?
obvious.
When they laugh, like Lisa Rinna will always laugh. She'll be like,
Yeah.
Oh.
you're like, you didn't write it.
No.
Sure,
Maybe that's why she's laughing because it's the first time she's
The
heard
first
it.
time she's doing a cold read off a cue card.
She's like, wow, you guys are funny. And it's like, yeah, we're paid to
And
write
I
this
know,
for you.
like, there aren't literally, I'll say this, there are not writers for these shows that write dialogue, that write those confessionals. But that doesn't prevent someone from privately hiring someone to give them that.
Oh, yeah.
It's not a Bravo. Bravo does not write those lines.
There's a rumor that Carol hired someone to do that.
Yes, but I just want it clear. These
Carol's
are not
a good enough
scripted shows.
writer that she would do that herself.
Didn't she have a ghostwriter?
That's the rumor. Aviva said it.
Aviva said it.
Guys,
Fake.
no, I will not accept Carol slander on this show.
No, we all love Carol.
I know.
But
she wrote her own book.
I'm just saying it's out there. It's
Oh
just
my
out
God.
there.
Aviva's such a liar. I'm sorry.
Speaking of people we don't want back.
Oh my God.
She would have fit in at that table. That was the energy.
Oh, she would have.
It's true. She
They
would have
would.
thrown that leg.
She's
Again,
probably up
again.
next. She's probably up next on one of these.
No, I
Ex-Wives
saw
trips.
the cast for the next one.
Is it Ex-Wives?
No, it's like Friends.
It's all the people who weren't available for this like filming
That's
schedule.
truly the
Potomac and
It's
got
like
it.
Giselle and Candace, Heather and
Oh,
Whitney,
okay.
Marisol and Alexia,
Whoa.
and one other duo that I've forgotten.
Wait, I kind of. Where'd you get this? Where'd you see this list?
I saw it on like People or something.
Ooh,
like something real.
Marisol.
There's some person. There's a duo that I'm forgetting, so I'm sorry. But yeah, this episode was dark. It gets dark. I hope we lighten it up a bit.
yeah. How many days in is this trip now for them?
I mean, if it.
It feels like 20.
Yeah,
It feels
right.
like I mean, how many more episodes can they squeeze
we
out?
need
so long,
we need it up. We need to end up.
I want
we can't
half an
end
hour
down.
episodes.
We're
I
in
think-
downtown.
I assume we're having 7 or 8 episodes, and
Probably,
we're on
yeah.
episode.
Probably
I need
as long as
I
the
need
trip.
next week to be friggin' fun.
It has to be.
I mean, there's no. I mean, I say this with Brandi in the cast, but how much lower could we go? Like, there's no darker thing that's
No.
happened on all
But
the
if they
shows.
keep rehashing it, I don't know.
You think Brandy's gonna hit someone?
No, I think she'll keep walking away.
Yeah.
But I think she'll say horrible things.
She got close. Didn't somebody have to hold her back? Someone have to hold her back?
Yeah, but it seems fake.
I would love if I could just like there's production around and I say to someone like I'm gonna punch you and then I'm like
And no one hold me back. Hold me back.
That's-
because to not have to hit someone but to look like it's
That's
pretty
the best.
is nice.
Yeah.
I like that feeling.
How you get a good scene.
Yeah, I know.
Wow, that was bad.
Wow, that was bad.
Sorry,
I'm really
guys.
disappointed
Not
in
our fault.
all of these women. I'm disappointed.
I think it still was an interesting episode of television, even though it was very dark. It's still
Yeah.
more entertaining than a lot of what's on Bravo right now.
Yeah.
So I'm excited and I'm hopeful that we will get an upswing.
You know what it feels like? You know how like in the Hunger Games, sometimes people just like resort to like cannibalism or whatever. They're like, I didn't think I would be bad and I thought I would be peaceful. And then it happens to you. And it feels like sort of the Hunger Games where these women are like resorting to dirty tactics.
Totally.
And,
I believe that.
And I'm like, yeah, you're going to cut someone's arm off and eat it for attention.
100%. It's
Like,
so
I don't
true.
know.
All right, is there anything else we need to tell the people for today for this podcast app?
I hope everyone is feeling great.
Yes.
Because that was such a sad episode.
Maybe we
I
could
hope
give
you're all
them a recommendation
doing
of something less sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like what's going on in the
We're
world?
watching Love Island, New Love Island.
Oh yeah, New Love. I've watched like a week's worth, I think, of episodes so far.
And
I saw Dear Evan Hansen last night.
how was?
And, not the movie, the show in LA.
Yeah.
It was great.
Oh, good.
The
how
Evan
did
guy
you
was
feel
great.
when the song goes share, like, comment, share?
There was a lot of that.
There's a lot of
That is
a
my
lot
pet
of that.
peeve. That is my pet peeve in
My pet
anything.
peeve. Wait,
I
mine
hate
is
it.
when it'll be like someone who's older and they'll be like, I posted it on the book face. And you're like, oh my God, no one is this stupid.
It did seem like a little dated, even though it was written like maybe 8 years ago, because
No.
social media is such a big part of it. They're just like, it's all over Facebook. The
Just when
kids are seeing it. It's like, no one's on Facebook.
It's also like it's always like somebody gets a call like on a landline and they're like, hey Joe, you're going viral.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
Very bad.
Yes. Have you ever gotten a phone call? You're going to want to see the internet.
exactly that.
You're going
Check
viral.
the internet today. It's like, I haven't checked the internet today. What's happening on the internet?
Yeah.
Like, oh, some 60-year-old man in New York wrote this.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. I guess check out that article I wrote about Jill.
Yes.
I
Yes.
would hope read more than the headline, and you might like it.
I think you will very much like it. We'll put a link in the bio.
Yeah.
Also, everyone buy Glenn's book.
Oh, buy my book.
Yes.
There's going to be a reprint coming, I think, in end of this month, beginning August.
Perfect timing.
Because the first one, everyone bought it, and they need more.
Which is nice.
Yes.
So if you have a mom in your life or a new mom, it's a good baby shower gift.
Yes.
It's called There Are Moms Way Worse Than You.
It's hilarious.
I feel like I'm
Amazing.
Dorinda giving her Make It
No,
Nice
we
book.
need it.
Yeah.
You got to promote it. It's a great book. Everyone
Thank
should buy
you.
it.
Partnering with Squeeze Couture.
Yes.
Couture, yes.
Promote that.
Well, thank you guys all for listening and watching, and we'll be back next week with Two Gay Matt's Ex-Wives
Wives
Club.
Club. Season
Ultimate Girls
Girls
Trip
Trip.
2.
2. Bye.
Bye.